It's tournament season at First, and the next big one at Gulfstream and ExpressBet is the Ultimate Betting Challenge this Saturday, March the 2nd. The Ultimate Betting Challenge features every race at Gulfstream Park on Fountain of Youth Day. Buy in for $6,000, $5,000 live bankroll, and compete against players from around the country for massive cash prizes and NHC seats. First will seed 4 NHC seats to the prize pool, and all cash entry fees will be distributed back as prizes. At 150 players, that's $150,000 in cash prizes, plus those 4 NHC seats. Play in the UBC on site at Gulfstream or jump in online with ExpressBet. Head on over to expressbet.com/tournaments for more information and to register to play. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, nice card at Aqueduct on Saturday. Race number 8's the Stymie for older horses going a one-turn mile. $150,000 is the purse. Let's take a peek at this field. This is a pretty wide open group, Mike. Castle Chaos, the number 6, was cross-centered at Gulfstream Park in their Gulfstream Park mile. He's going to run here, and based on his last couple of races, this horse really fits. He was third in the Cigar 2 starts back over a track that probably didn't favor his running style.
Yeah, he's just in really good form, especially lately. And I think, electing for this race over the race down at Gulfstream on Saturday, I think coming up here, it makes him the horse to beat now.
Curious to see how this pace shakes out from our friends at Timeform US. We'll take a peek at the pace projector. Laughing Boy, a stakes winner at Penn National, 3 starts back. He's fast, and I do expect him to get to the lead in here. Coastal Mission is a tactical type. I think he'll be close. Kinetic Sky is another tactically inclined runner, but I think Laughing Boy is going to get to the front. The question is whether he's good enough.
Yeah, that is a real question for Laughing Boy, but it just seems like if he's going to run here, they're probably going to try to use his speed. I won't be surprised if Coastal Mission is on ascent here and tries to get to the front, but I thought one of those 2 horses would be on the lead.
Rick Dutrow trained horses bookend the field with the 1 Kinetic Sky. The 8 Petulante will start things off with Kinetic Sky, who was bet down to odds on last time out in the toboggan, although on paper it seemed like he might have been pace compromised a little bit, and he got wired by Super Chow that day. He didn't run great. The pace wasn't very fast for him. His race in the Queens County 2 starts back was good. Probably getting back to a one-turn mile is good for him, and he'll be a better price this time.
Won't argue with any of those things, Dan. You're right. I mean, on paper, it felt like maybe he could be pace compromised in the toboggan. And in the race, he was pace compromised. They were walking on the lead in front of him. I guess you could say he did well to get third, but he was never involved. Queens County was fine. 2 back. That was a multi-horse photo, and he just couldn't quite get the job done. He did win 3 starts back this distance, the one turn, Dan, but he caught a very lucky head bob to hold on there.
Laughing Boy did win a stake at Penn National 3 starts back. That was going a 2-turn mile, beaten in his 2 subsequent starts. He went pretty quick on the lead, going 1 mile and 1/8 last time out, in a race won by a very sharp horse, a horse that would come back to win an allowance race with a 100 buyer speed figure. If they leave him alone on the lead, maybe he could take them farther than his 15-1 odds indicate his chances.
Maybe. I mean, I personally didn't see him loose on the lead in here, but maybe that's how everything will shake out, Dan. Either way, I don't really like this horse. I get it. His last 2 starts are probably the best races that he's ever run. They're on wet tracks, though, going longer. And to me, he just kind of sucked into bigger figures there against really good horses in his last 2. I don't know, man. I didn't think he was good enough to go with these horses.
Back from Laurel's, the number 3, Double Crown. We remember Double Crown at Aqueduct after he pulled off that big upset, going the 1-turn mile in the Kelso back in 2022. Here's his most recent start, the John B. Campbell. He was on a hard chase going after favored Bob Marco, who's a true speedster, makes the lead turning for home, and a rail skimmer that got a beautiful ride is just going to beat Double Crown on the wire. It was a brutal beat for this horse, who is in good form and is always rock solid.
Yeah, this is a really tough beat for him. I mean, he runs the best race in here, and he just can't quite get the job done. That's terrible, especially when you consider that's 9 furlongs. That's probably about as far as this horse wants to go, and it might be too far for him. He's got a couple of those wet sealed tracks in his recent races, which I really don't think he likes at all. And when you start taking his form apart, his races on fast dirt recently, They're really good, and they make him a contender in here.
We'll see if he does get faster. There is a little bit of rain in the forecast in the
Yeah.
New York metropolitan area for Saturday. Coastal Mission, it doesn't matter wet or dry because the king of Charlestown just likes to win races. He's 11 of 17 lifetime. And in the Cigar Mile last time out, that trip didn't work out for him. He didn't break well from the rail. He got bounced around if you watch the head-on in your formulator replays on the backstretch. And when I talked to trainer Jeff Runco on Thursday afternoon, he said maybe that bumping incident in the slow break cost him third that day. He came out of the race, missed a little bit of training time due to the weather, missed a little bit of training time due to a bruised foot, but he seems to be doing well now, and he expects this horse to be close to the pace.
Yeah, I think they got to use his speed here, and I think it makes him pretty dangerous. And I just feel like he fits right in here. I'm usually not sold on these these horses come in from Charlestown on big winning streaks, and they look fast, and then they come to New York and they tend not to do anything. This horse didn't run poorly at all in the Cigar Mile.
Iron Works is up next. This horse might be the biggest price on the tote. Fourth last time out in an allowance race at Aqueduct over Muddy Going. Just has a lot to prove.
Yeah, I mean, they claimed him for 25,000 out of a loss not that long ago. He's 0 for 3 for these connections. It just feels like they're taking a shot here at a huge price.
Castle Chaos, the number 6, has run well in both stakes opportunities. The Cigar Mile, 2 starts back, a race where he got wired over a wet and speed-favoring track. He finished a good third that day. And then this race, the Fred W. Hooper going a one-turn mile at Gulfstream, where he must have been 4 wide through the turn and into the stretch, and he's just going to get beat a dirty nose.
Yeah, he just can't quite get there. I mean, he doesn't have some kind of big excuse in this race, and he's got a shot at it. And he just misses at the end, but it's another good performance from him. It's 3 starts in a row now for Falcone, where he's run really, really well in all 3 of those starts. Again, he's shipping up here. I think he's the horse to beat.
And while he's come from far back in his last 2 races, in his prior starts in New York, he's shown the ability to stay a little bit closer to the pace. So if they slow it down, it's not like he's going to be completely compromised. Quality Chic is up next. Kind of a weird horse for David Jacobson. 1 race big, 1 race kind of off form. I liked his performance in the Queens County 2 starts back, where he made a bid for the lead on the turn and dug in very gamely to just get beat, and then he just didn't fire last time.
He just didn't fire last time. It was a wet track. I don't know if that's enough of an excuse then, because he's handled wet tracks in the past. He did have trouble on the first turn last time, but after that, he just didn't really do that much. But you're right. He's sort of an in and outer. His good race gives him some kind of shot in here. I don't mind them cutting him back in distance for this race. I think that could really work out for him. I thought there weren't that many interesting long shots in here. He's a bigger price. He's pretty interesting.
He does have some figures that make him somewhat competitive with this group. He's going to hope for a contested pace up front. Petulante is the number 8. This horse has won 4 of 6 starts. The issue is we have not seen him since the late spring when he won this race, the Grade 3 Salvatore Mile, over a pretty good field. A couple of next out winners. The 6th place horse came back to win a restricted stake at Gulfstream with a 97, just recently won a graded stakes race at Oaklawn. Petulante has had some issues with his feet. He's been transferred to trainer Rick Dutrow Jr. They've been working him with glue on shoes, and he was still a vet scratch on February 23rd.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that too, because that was last week. He was in a pretty strong allowance field, and he wound up scratching him. I just thought maybe they were just waiting for this, and then I saw him listed as a vet scratch. So I don't know what to make of that. Either way, all of his races that he's run so far make him a real contender in here if he's ready off the layoff, and the 1-turn mile is not a big deal for him.
Let's take a look at our top selections. Mike, you're going with Double Crown. He ran so well last time out at Laurel. He's already a graded stakes winner over course and distance. You're getting 8-1 on the morning line. Lots to like.
Yeah, I just didn't think he was overmatched. And he's probably not the most likely winner of this race, but he catches Petulante off the layoff. And then really the only other horse to be terrified of is Falcone's horse, who I think is the horse to beat, but I'm not going to put him on top in here. This horse fits with these horses if he gets the right trip.
Like you, I want a little bit of a price. I respect Petulante. I respect Castle Chaos. I don't want to go low on the tote board with either one of them. I'm hoping Quality Chic gets a little bit of pace. I thought his race 2 starts back was promising enough. Cutting back to a mile might work. It's just he's a bit of an in and outer, so I need at least 10-1. 3-8-6-4 for Mike, 7-8-6-4 for me, and the Stymie at Aqueduct on Gotham Saturday. Good luck.